Hey pups, Top Up here, Puppy Ninja, and we're back with Seduce Me. And yeah, I know you guys don't typically see my face cam and all that with certain things, but I thought it was going the wrong way. I thought, yeah, why not? Let's try it out. I don't typically like to do face cam just because I don't know. But we haven't played Seduce Me in a long time, and I thought I'd record a couple videos of that and upload them as I see fit. I don't even know if I uploaded the pup before I'm recording this, but anyway, so it's not going to look like I'm looking at the camera at all because I'm kind of looking at my own face because I have my face right on here, and I don't even know if you can see my mouse because typically this software doesn't record it. I'll try to look at you. I'll probably typically be reading the text in that. And this is our save file. Don't mind that. My sister comes on my computer and plays Seduce Me, and that's how far she got in hers. Not to mention all the other ones.
I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you're my most precious daughter.
Uh-huh.
You're all that I have.
See, we know he loves us and stuff, but he's such a pain in the neck. It makes me not want to like him. ... Yet he couldn't bring himself to say what he could never say to me for such a long time. I always wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess even now he couldn't say it to me. I turned my head away to look out the window. I actually have a window that way, so I actually did look at it. There was no point in waiting for something that was never going to come. And like that, he started to drive, and the conversation ended between us. Okay, I can't really remember what part this is it, but I'm pretty sure we're meeting the boys this episode. Yay! Which means... I hate my lisp. Which means you guys, at the end of this episode, I'm not going to start anything with the guys. I want you guys to vote on which guy you want me to start with. And if by the time I record another one of these, I don't get a vote, I will be picking whatever guy I see fit. Maybe in a vlog thing, I'll flip a coin or something. I don't know. I like a couple of the guys. Like some of the guys I don't like so much. But, whatever. Whoever you like, you like. And I'll do whoever. I'll just start playing through them all. Maybe I'll go from like oldest brother to youngest. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do oldest brother to youngest brother. Yeah. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. We were taking the usual route to grandfather's house. It was located within the vicinity, I don't like words, of the school district, but it was still pretty far from the school and from where our house was. So we're going to be isolated now. Isolated with 5 guys. 5 guys. That can only turn out good, right? He had always lived alone. He insisted on doing things by himself, even at his age, living in such a large house. Bleh, I can't talk. I wondered, did he pass away with no one at his side as well? That's not how that was supposed to end. It sounded so lonely and sad. It was strange that he decided on living all alone in his large estate. If anything, he could have lived with us. I don't think he would have wanted to live with father. Though he and my father probably wouldn't have given each other the silent treatment the entire time, maybe living alone was preferable to that. I actually hadn't visited him for quite a while. Visits to his house were most frequent when I was a child, and I had grown up long since then. Last time I visited, though, I thought he looked just as he usually was, happy and healthy. But things changed. In the back of my mind, I knew that he would have to leave one day. It wasn't like humans could live forever. That'd be awesome if humans could live forever. Like, just think about it. We live forever. And then we don't die? That means like... Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. That means like we could accomplish everything we've ever wanted, and it'd be awesome. Maybe even if people could live forever, if like some guy was on the brink of curing cancer, boom, he lives forever. He cures cancer. So why did my heart still feel so heavy? Your grandfather passed away. You loved him dearly, dearly. The car ride was mostly spent in silence until he spoke up again. Father speaks.
How was school? Maintaining your grades, I hope.
Of course, typical grown-up talk. Yeah, I've been trying my best as of so far.
Trying? That's not really doing the best you can, is it?
Grandpa only wanted me to try my best. Just saying. Dot dot dot. With my father, only some words I said were filtered through his ears. It was difficult to keep up a conversation without eventually talking about my academics or my future, even if it was something loosely based on it. He always found a way to interrogate it whenever we talked.
Anyway, your belongings are in the trunk. There isn't a lot, so I'm sure you can manage bringing them inside the house. After all, you are on the road to being independent now.
My computer's making... No? Okay. Yes, I can manage on my own. Even though I had the voice of a 5-year-old for some reason. The usual silence resumed between us. I really wasn't... Oh, goodness, my legs are getting tangled up in all the wires and stuff. I really wasn't sure what to say around him, especially when most of the time we didn't share the same opinions. I'm trying to make sure I'm still in the camera while being able to read and record this. I don't think next video I'm going to have a face cam, unless you guys want it. One question did linger, however, if he was going to justify acting so nonchalant at grandfather's funeral, I had the right to at least know why. You know, I don't feel like fighting with Dad. There was no use talking to him about this. It would probably be like reopening a wound or reapplying a bruise. See, that's why I didn't want to say anything, because, you know. Oh, God, my strings are up. I sighed. He gave me a side glance out of curiosity, but didn't pursue it further. Why not? Why don't you care about us? Typical. I leaned against the car door and stared out the window. I really couldn't think. What would this place be like? I had been to my grandfather's house before, but it was one thing visiting, and it was another thing actually living there. Like, seriously. How would I manage living on my own without any training to really care for a house? I knew that naturally the bills would be paid by my parents, who inherited grandfather Scott's stocks to the corporation, but I had never lived independently before. Thinking about it made me feel like some kind of bird being pushed out of the nest. Though I was technically an adult, I felt unprepared and a bit daunted at the prospect of the actually moving into a new place. How long is this car ride? Like, geez. Most people my age would be ecstatic about moving out. After all, it would symbolize some kind of change in their lives, like being on the road to independence. Like, if you look out the outside of the window, there's no cars, and there's no other cars. We're not moving. I don't know. But it felt like nothing of the sort. Not another. What? I really hoped I wouldn't let my parents down. I wouldn't want to let grandfather down. What would he be saying right now? We're not having another grandfather flashback of what he would say. I glanced up at the passing clouds in the sky. If you were out there, grandfather, how would you be doing? Would there be anything you'd want to tell me at this moment? And of course, no answer. What was I doing, searching for an answer in a heaven that would or would not exist? I ducked my head to stare at the blur of trees and cars from the car window. My head was definitely going into the clouds there at the moment. Either way, I found myself being driven off to my new home. Yay! The car rolled to a stop and I drifted out of my thoughts.
Here we are. Go on in.
Look at this house, though. It's huge. All right, tell Mom I love her.
All right.
Love you, Dad. Dad, dad, dad. No, make sure to come by and visit us often. No, I'm going to miss you lots. Nothing other than a blank stare. I paused a bit before reaching for the car door handle, waiting for any form of goodbye, but he didn't speak again. I sighed and exited the car, hearing my dad pop open the trunk. I saw the two large bags I packed last night, and they were large enough to carry the needs things I needed. Goodness. I took them out, placed one bag on each shoulder, closed the trunk. He drove off, leaving me alone in front of the mansion. I watched the blue car fade into the distance on the road before turning to see my new home. There it is. It's huge. My grandfather gave me this? It's hard to believe. The house was framed by a set of tall gates, and I hesitantly pushed them aside to take in the entire estate. Sorry, guys. The house still looked like it was when I last visited him. At a glance, it seemed kind of intimidating with its size. Though if I came closer, it was clear that there was more to it than that. Can we go inside, please? Yeah, I love talking about the house and that, but we're on a time schedule here. The brick walls were framed by the shrubbery and lovely flowers, giving it a homey and welcoming look. But in contrast, the tall doors in the house gave me a feeling of grandeur. Who knew what was waiting for me? But I wouldn't back down at this moment. I took out the key of the front doors and unlocked them. Well, might as well make myself at home. I'll be staying here for quite a while. That's when I saw them. Lying on the floor was a group of men. They were all unconscious, but there was no explanation as to why they were here in the first place. I dropped my bags and as I let the door close on its own behind me. Huh? Who the heck are these guys? Why are they here? Why is my voice cracking? What's going on? Some of them had open wounds. The blood was staining the floor and the scent was intermingling with the air. I couldn't help but feel bad for them instinctively, but nonetheless, I was shocked and a bit angry at the sudden intrusion. My mind suddenly went from caring and concern to confused and demanding answers. Who are you guys? God, my voice is cracking tonight. No response. I'll call the police. Still nothing. None of them seemed to be awake to answer or respond to me. It just seemed surreal. To have random strangers in the house I just moved into, but I wanted answers quickly. That was until... Eep! Get away from me!
Woman, you're going to let me kiss you.
What? That's what I did. I couldn't believe it myself, but within a mere blink of an eye, one of the men went from lying on the floor to being right in front of my face. What was even more odd was that the fact that I felt serene and calm about it. What? Slowly, a desire burned from my chest. Look at her face, though. Her face just looks so weird. You couldn't do, a little outline of the eye on the other side. I don't know. Maybe that'd make it look worse. It just looks weird. Telling me to accept his kiss, even when my mind vehemently refused. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Good.
Okay. That sound ill. As he kissed me, I could feel my body go weak. I didn't know why, but that kiss was draining me of my energy, and yet it was so good and made my heart sing. It was strange and a tingling feeling that danced over every nerve on my body. I could feel streams of intangible energy run up my body into my lips. It felt odd, but at the same time, it felt amazing.
Sam, stop it.
What?
Hmm?
The person kissed me. Sam was his name? Glanced behind him.
I said stop. Now. Fine.
Finally, he pulled back, and I was still standing there in a daze. Okay, that guy's Sam, and that guy's James. I'm just going to tell you the names that they got. This is James. It's Sam. He's the oldest brother. He's the middle brother. Ooh, what? Huh? I couldn't tell what was going on in my mind. Mine was completely enwrapped by the kiss and my thoughts, and that melted into the depths of my forgotten memories. And with that, I guess you're not meeting all of the guys, but, the one on the left is James, and the one on the right is Sam. James is the older one, is the oldest brother, and Sam is the youngest brother. And with that, I bid you my goodbye. What? Stay sneaky, my pups, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're new. I love all my pups equally. Bye.